My fellow Americans, I believe in this country, the United States of America, not just as it stands, but for what it could be, and for what the American dream represents, and what it could and should represent in the future. 1 year ago, in response to the State of the Union, I wished the President well in his endeavors, despite that I did not vote for him. I hoped, as many did, that our country would become more prosperous, more powerful, more safe, and more great than it has ever been. Despite the words that our President has stated, the prices of groceries, rent, and goods have all increased. We are actively involved in more conflicts, not less, and our economy has never been in worse shape for the average American. Greed has ravaged this country, and the only minorities that are stealing your jobs and your money are the billionaires. Our President lies repeatedly, hoping for it to become true. Numerous details about his personal life aside, it has become truly evident that the greatest threat to freedom and the American way of life is the President of the United States and all those in Congress willingly complicit, and all those who looked the other way and made excuses each day. Our Constitution is being undermined. Our Justice Department acts as the personal legal team for an organized criminal element currently occupying the White House. The State of the Union was once the only way the President communicated with the majority of all the country all at once. Today, our President calls into local news stations under a fake name because the propaganda isn't working like it used to. The President chose to litter his speech with lies and hate. He ranted on and on about the election and fabricated numbers. Our government only exists to extract money from the working class, and they are no longer hiding their intentions, as they believe that they have the technology to make your vote useless, your voice silenced, and your identity censored. We do not live in red or blue states. There is no black and white America. There is only the United States of America. Though we may seem divided at times, conflict is essential to progress. We must rise to this occasion and make our descendants proud of our actions. Make them able to thrive instead of just merely survive. Ronald Reagan said that you can go to live in France, but you cannot become a Frenchman. You can go to live in Germany or Turkey or Japan, but you cannot become a German, a Turk, or Japanese. But anyone from any corner of the earth can come to live in America and become an American. We're being lied to. Lied to about the you-know-who files. Lied to about what the difference is between offensive and defensive weapons. Lied to about the difference between offensive and defensive weapons. Lied to about private equity owning property, which is causing rising housing prices. Being lied to about technologies in our skies. Being lied to about the state of our economy, and lied to about the state of our union. Our cities are being terrorized by our government. Our justice system is two-tiered, and there is zero effort to pretend that our entire legislative system is not corrupt, occupied, and compromised by consultants, foreign lobbyists, mega corporations, and influencers. No one is illegal. Making one's very existence criminal for differing beliefs, differing shades of skin, differing customs, dreams, and radical ideas of peace. This is nothing new for fascists, authoritarians, and dictators. But many of us have expected that the systems in place to function as intended, and that is exactly the case. They function for who they were designed to function for, not us. But that is one of the most beautiful things about this country. The systems can be replaced, new paths can be charted, and new dreams and ideas can begin to form and shape the world of the future. I see before us two paths. One where we look to the past for comfort and nostalgia, and one that rewinds the clocks on progress and individual rights and liberties are sacrificed for convenience and for the illusion of security. The other is a world of empathy and compassion. One where you can be wherever you want to be, love whoever you want to love, and say whatever you want to say without fear of reprisal, not just from your government, but from the tiny tyrants we deal with on a daily basis, the bosses and managers who've got something to prove to their absentee fathers, the ones who care too much about insured merchandise and corporate-owned and corporate-owned property that doesn't belong to them. A world with leaders who listen instead of shouting at the clouds, where we all do better when we all do better. Leaders whose priority is not to the donors or the voters, but to all citizens and all who dwell within our borders. A country that once again welcomes the sick, the poor, and one where anyone can change their destiny, where the playing field is evened and the elite are held accountable. A world that makes sense for the rest of us. Not a perfect world, and it may be an imperfect dream, but that's what makes us human. Our ability to love, to fight, and to forgive. This country, my home, the home of my great-grandfather and his father before him, the men who founded this country, farmers, lawyers, soldiers, called the Founding Fathers. This country built by slaves, natives, and immigrants who fought for freedom and livelihoods they would not be granted for generations, and must still fight for to this day. And must still fight for to this day. This country is a country and not a business. A business functions primarily for profit. A government of the people, by the people, and for the people. A foundational democratic principle famously delivered by Abraham Lincoln in the Gettysburg Address was the first renegotiation of the great American social contract. People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. Under a truly capitalist system, the risk is assumed by the capitalist, except the United States economy operates more like a corporate communism, where the U.S. taxpayer actually assumes all the risk while banks and corporations are bailed out, civil liberties are abandoned, wages are stagnant, jobs are evaporating, and the tension mounts. This country wasn't once great. This country wasn't great once upon a good old time because of what it was or has been. This country is great, but can stand to be greater because of what it can be for all of us, for any of us who fight for what we believe in. The actions of this administration have only weakened us internationally, embarrassed us globally, and divided us internally. American citizens are being ripped out of their homes without due process and killed in our streets without mercy or repercussion. It's time to renegotiate the social contract once again. When the leader is weak, the country is. When the leader is inept, the country is at risk. We must not mince words. There is not a civil war coming. It is already here, and the fight will be waged in our streets. They will try to intimidate and do whatever they can to take power permanently. This administration is not the problem. It is a symptom, holding a black light to our society. We need to restore the American dream where anyone of any race, color, creed, gender, or class can even become the President of the United States. Not just the rich and the privileged. 1 year ago, my reply to the State of the Union garnered a reaction that went viral with over 1 million views. 1 year later and 100,000 followers later, I want to reiterate my commitment to this fight by announcing that I, Paul Ron Cruz, am running for President of the United States in 2028. But before I do that, I got to win a little election here in Florida in the 2026 midterms. Thank you very much. God bless America. God bless the United States.